Okay, let's record an episode. So, hello, it's Tim, and this is Hey Team Podcast. And this is the second video episode or the fifth episode in general. Welcome to my podcast. And, what I want to say, first of all, Happy New Year. No, I want to record episode like Happy New Year episode about New Year, some goals and stuff, but then it's kinda something went wrong and I didn't record it. So anyway, I just wanted to say happy 2026. Yeah, I hope your year started all right. I hope everything is all right, that you are healthy, full of energy, full of ideas, and that you started this year with some new maybe ideas or resolutions, and that you're still there. Yeah, that you still want to do them, or you are doing them, right? On this thought, let's begin. Let's get started. So, in this episode, I actually want to talk about Spain. Can you imagine? For those who don't know, I am originally from Russia. I'm Tim. I'm originally from Russia, from beautiful city St. Petersburg. That's I think one of the most beautiful cities, at least I've seen, and I've seen maybe not too many, but quite a few. I've seen quite a few cities in Europe and in some other countries, and I think my city, the city where I was born, is one of the most beautiful ones. All right, but now I don't live there for various of reasons, and now I live in Barcelona. Well, actually, now I moved, and I don't live in Barcelona, but I live in the Barcelona region. So I live in a city close to Barcelona. It's a Sabadell, yeah, if you know. And if you don't, you can look the map and find the city if you want. Nothing particularly interesting actually about this city or town, but I think we can call it a city since it has its own airport. There are some various of stations, yeah, train stations. There is its own, I think, like bus system or something. I haven't used it, to be honest. I have a bicycle, and that's pretty convenient to me, especially considering that this city is not that big, and to me, I can walk around easily. I don't need actually a bus or something. So where was I? Last year, I traveled across Spain, and I visited some different areas, some different regions. I in love with Spain. I love Spain in general as a country, but the more I know about this country, the more I am in love with its country, with this country and its people, its differences. So today I want to talk about differences actually. Yeah? That the Spain that we know. What do we know about Spain? The Spain what we know. Well, if you live here, you know that Spain is not actually Spain, which is like one country. Yeah, the Spain is a country mixed of many countries inside. Yeah, there are at least 5 or 6 countries inside of one country. Well, at least 4 I can count. And I will record another episode, a bit more detailed episode about my traveling in Spain, in north of Spain, in south of Spain, and my thoughts and what I've seen and what do I think about some particular region. In this episode, I just want to mention what regions do we have in Spain, the languages, yeah, the main interest, especially to me as a language teacher, as a language enthusiast. I love languages, and this is for me the most fascinating thing. Yeah, that the Spain, it's not Spanish. Okay, it's they speak Spanish, but they also speak other languages. Yeah, so today I want to talk about these languages. So first of all, we have quite a few regions, yeah. And as a country, before I told you that there are different countries inside one. What did I mean by that? By this, I mean that back in the days, in the past 1,000 years or so, maybe for some regions it's more, for some regions less. Yeah, there wasn't actually Spain. Yeah, there were different kingdoms, and it was a big Muslim state also. And then some of these states, they united and they fought against, and then they kind of with the dominant kingdom of Castilla y Leon. Yeah, this was a dominant kingdom, united actually, because Castilla, it was one kingdom, and the kingdom of Leon, it was another kingdom. Yeah, so they united. Then they united with Asturias, with Basque countries, Aragon eventually, and they together they fought Muslims, and they drew them actually from Spain, from Iberia. Yeah, and since then, more or less, Spain became Spain. Yeah, there were a few facts also in history. I don't want to dive into history that much. I don't want to tire you, unless you ask me later in the comments if you want to hear more about history of Spain or different regions. Tell me about it. I'm a huge history fan and nerd, and I will gladly tell you all about, well, at least all I know about history of Spain and these regions. So, what regions do we have? First, the region where I live, my favorite region, Catalonia or Catalunya, and the capital is Barcelona. Yeah, this is a big region, northeast of Spain, and it's in a border to France. Yeah, so that's so. Then we have in the north we have next region we have Aragon, which was also different kingdom back in the days. Then we have a Basque country where Basque people live. Yeah, this consists actually of two regions, like Basque region, which is, oh, that's difficult in their language. It's like Gibisca, or, well, I don't want to pronounce incorrectly, but it's quite a different name for the region. And there is a Navarra, yeah, that's also kind of they also speak Basque, I guess. Yeah, that's somewhere in the middle. Then we have Cantabria, Asturias, Galicia. This all in the past they were different kingdoms. As I told you before, Castilla and Leon, the biggest, yeah, and the I guess the biggest area, at least on the map. And then we have in the south we have Andalusia, yeah, with Seville, Cordoba, Cadiz, Granada, and like this city, yeah, the big cities. So the south is actually also very big. Also we have Valencia as a different region now, and Balearic Islands. And definitely Madrid as the capital of Spain. So this is the more or less map. Also there are Canary Islands. There are like 6 or 7 of them. They are, well, I don't know much about them, to be honest. They were colonized, I guess, no? When Spain started colonization, so they were colonized first. So what do they speak here? Yeah, the team. You told us that it's actually different. That Spain is different, and all is different. All these kingdoms are different. What difference? What's the main difference? The main difference isn't the language, and it's, I think, always kinda the main difference between cultures. Not just culture itself. Yes, the culture, but the language kinda create the culture, right? Well, that's actually a good question. Is language created by the culture, or culture created by the language? Because we can actually notice that people with different languages have different cultures, and usually in one language. Yeah, the people who speak the same language, they have more or less the same culture, even if it's a bit different. For example, we can say like United Kingdom and Australia, yeah, they speak English. They speak British English and they speak Australian English, which is basically a dialect of the same language. Yeah, they're not different languages, and they have a bit of different, definitely a bit of a different culture. But in general, it's more or less the same culture. It's not that different, like for example, Spanish culture and English. Yeah, that's by Spanish culture, I mean Spanish Castilian culture, yeah, and that's in Spain. That's what it's actually unites all of these regions. Yeah, there is a one language which unites them all. Yeah, like the ring. Yeah, which bites them all. So without this, I think the differences would be much more noticeable. Yeah, because people speak the same language, they understand each other better, they have some same traditions, and it's been the same country for years now. So definitely this is one country. But nevertheless, they have their own identity. Yeah, they have their own languages. That's why it's important to save this language. It's important to continue to speak, to teach, to study, because without this, I think this identity of these countries, it will disappear for good or for worse. I don't know, but it will disappear if we won't, or if people won't conservate it. So where we were about languages. So what different languages we have? Yeah, so we have, I counted at least 5 different languages. Yeah? The main language that in Spain there is Spanish, which is Castilian or Espanol or Castellano. Yeah, if we talk in Spanish, yeah, if this is the main language which people speak. Doesn't matter which region they're from, they all speak Spanish, they all speak Castellano. Then depends from which kingdom or region they are from, they also may know I'm 90% sure they know, but not all of them know. All right, some actually don't. Well, at some point they do study, because they need to they need to speak this in school, or they at least hear or read it. So if they don't speak, it doesn't mean they don't know. So I guess they know. In Catalan, in Catalonia, they speak Catalan or Catalan. And Valencia, yeah, they speak Valencian language, Valenciano, which is similar to Catalan. It's actually Catalan. It's a dialect of Catalan language. Even if they say that it's a separate language, it's actually not. It's a dialect of Catalan. It's the same in the Balearic Islands. Yeah, there is, they call it Mallorquí, Baleari or something like this, but it's still Catalan, but with a different dialect. Yeah, they pronounce differently, or they have some different words. But basically, grammar rules, more or less the same, and it's more or less the same language. Then we have Aranese, yeah, which is very close to Catalonia, the Aragon. I don't know much. To be honest, I never heard anyone speaking Aranese. Yeah, that's. I think it's kind of similar because so I don't really know much about this language, but I guess it's similar to Catalan in something in between, maybe closer to French and to Spanish, but I don't know. I've never heard Aranese. So then I think the most interesting and weird and curious language, and maybe even mysterious language of them all, and this is Euskera, which is Basque language, which they speak in Navarra and Basque country, and this Euskera is like very very different, and by different I mean like absolutely different. It's not a Roman language, it's not a Celtic language, and it's not any Germanic language in its we actually don't really know where it came from. Yeah, this language is it has some roots Celtic, I think, but not that much, and it's one of the oldest languages on earth. So it's quite curious, and it sounds quite different. I mean, it's difficult to read it as well. And it doesn't matter if you know any of Roman languages or not, you still won't understand the thing because it's completely different. Yeah, because in terms of other languages, if you know, if you know Spanish, you can guess more or less or have an idea of other languages. So the next one we have Galician language. They speak in Galicia, Galego, and this is also a curious language. I like how it sounds. It's kind of a mixture of Portugal and Spain in Spanish, and then it's like a Galician. Yeah, the curious fact that it actually was Galician Portuguese language, and then Portuguese came out of Galician. So it's not the other way around. It's not Galician language become Portuguese. It's actually Portuguese become Portuguese, but it's in the beginning it was Galician. Yeah, so Galicia was a much bigger country back in the days, and it influenced Portugal, and that's how kind of Portugal became Portugal, and then Portuguese, yeah, and they colonized Brazil, and in Brazil they speak Portugal, yeah, Portuguese, and that's basically they speak Galician Portuguese something from years ago. Yeah, that's funny how does it work, and that is it, yeah, and this is I think the five main languages in Spain. In the south, I'm not sure they have any language of their own. They have a weird accent. the I know that, well, in each region they have some regional accents, right? But in the south, I think they have the most recognizable accent and the most difficult to distinguish. Yeah, that's oh, this is Andalus. Oh, that you can hear that it's quite different and sometimes difficult to distinguish words or what people say, especially if they're from some pueblos, yeah, if they're from towns and they speak quickly and you kind of, what did you say? That you think you know Spanish? No, you don't. So, well, this is actually, I think, what I wanted to tell you just about these differences and that they are there. Well, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Do you think that it's excessive, that we don't need these languages, that it's better if there would be only Spanish and then people wouldn't need to learn other languages, and then maybe there wouldn't be such as independence movements such as in Catalonia or in Basque country? Yeah, they have strong independent movements here and there, and maybe people would live closer, or maybe we all on our planet Earth need one or two languages, and then it would be dominant language, and we kind of would have the same culture, or it's not a good thing, or it's a bad thing. To me, I don't know. I see some pros and cons in both, in having like one language or infinite amount of languages, which is I'm more favor in. Yeah, I love languages. I love to study them. I love different cultures, and I think the main thing that you can understand the other culture only through language. Yeah, without language, you don't know, you won't understand it. Yeah, you can try local food, you can, I don't know, visit monuments, you can well, I don't know what you can do. Yeah, there is, I think, even not, you can only be a tourist. You won't know the culture, the local culture inside, unless you understand some language. You can speak with people in their language, and you can understand things there. No? Even if you live in the country and you don't know the language, I don't think you can get it. All right. Well, that is it. Let me know if you like this episode, and see you in the next. Bye bye. Agur.